Hi. Okay, so we are back. Chapter 2 of our new book. Amber Brown is not a crayon. Remember, she's a third grader. And they were in class and they were doing a field trip, going to China to study it, which I think is very clever. China. It's a nice place to visit. Once we got off the plane, Mr. Cohen showed us a film about China, and then we worked on our scrapbooks about the trip. Justin and I are cutting out pictures from the folders that the travel agency sent. We're turning them into postcards to make it seem like we're really in China. That's kind of fun. Then we're writing important facts about the places in the scrapbook. Justin holds up a picture of a giant panda and says, "Let's send this to Danny, the bratster." "You mean Danny the bratster, your little brother, the 4-year-old you hate sharing your room with?" I paste the picture on a note card. "The same, one and only." It doesn't sound like he likes his brother very much. Justin nods, takes the card, and writes. I'm going to show you this writing. Okay, that's really hard to read. "Having a wonderful time. Glad you're not here. I barely miss you." Definitely not a fan of his little brother. "That's Barely. Barely, I inform him." Justin makes a face. "With the panda, barely is better. Don't worry, Danny can't read anyway." "Not your handwriting, at least." I stare at the scribble. I agree. Justin looks down at the card. "I'll do the pasting. You do the cursive." Looking at the gobs of paste, I think messy. If neatness counts with me, the count hardly gets to 1. Justin, on the other hand, is very neat about pasting things. Pasting is another word for gluing. My handwriting is much better. Another example of what a great team we are. We help each other out. Teamwork makes the dream work. We also learn things at the same time. When one of us learns first, he or she helps the other one out. When I learned to make the E go forward, not backwards, I taught Justin. He helps me with fractions, which I only half understand. We both whisper words to each other in reading group when we need help. A great team. Justin keeps pasting, I keep writing. We send one postcard to Justin's father, who got a new job and has to live alone in Alabama. Justin, Danny, and his mother are staying here in New Jersey until their house gets sold. That's taking a long time, but secretly, I'm glad. Sometimes Justin gets a little sad. I'm not glad about that. I know how Justin feels about missing his father. When my parents got a divorce, my dad moved far away to another country, so I never get to see him, and he hardly ever calls. Justin's lucky, though. His father comes home some weekends, and he gets to talk to him a lot on the phone. And even though Justin misses his dad, I keep my fingers crossed a lot of the time, hoping that no one buys their house, and that Mr. Daniels gets a job here and moves back again. At the other end of the table, Jimmy Russell and Bobby Clifford are fighting. "Listen, Tuna Head, I need the brown crayon." Jimmy tugs at Bobby's sleeve. "I've asked you for it 47 times. And 47 times I've told you that I still need it, rat rear." Bobby keeps using the crayon. "Why don't you just use another color?" "Because I need brown." Jimmy throws down a blue crayon. Jimmy and Bobby have been fighting since preschool. Mr. Cohen has told them to grow out of it, but they haven't. "Brown, I need brown," Jimmy repeats. Bobby crosses his eyes, sticks out his tongue, and clutches the brown crayon to his chest. "Doofus." Jimmy wiggles his ears. "If you need a brown crayon," Bobby points to me, "why don't you just use the top of her head? She's amber brown." I stare at Bobby. Good stare. Amber Brown is not a crayon. Amber Brown is a person. And that's where you get the title of our book. The two boys laugh. "I, Amber Brown, am sick of people teasing me about my name. When I was younger, I used to wish that my parents had given me a normal name, like Jennifer or Tiffany or Chelsea. Now, though, I really like my name, but I still have to put up with goofballs teasing me about it." Mr. Cohen flicks the lights off and on. "Lunchtime in China. Clear the desks." Everyone quickly cleans up. I see Bobby put the brown crayon in his pocket for later. In walks Mrs. Armitage, Mr. Brown, and Mrs. Hopkins. The classroom parents committee brings in Chinese takeout food, and we start eating in China, not on China, because we're using paper plates. Like China, like the dishes, get it? This reminds me of the Panda Express that we got to have come. Memories. "I, Amber Brown, am not very good with chopsticks. I use mine to smear the food and spear the food and then use a fork for the rice. After we finish eating, Justin and I fence with our chopsticks. Then Mr. Cohen passes out the fortune cookies. Opening mine up, I read, "Experience is the best teacher." I hold the paper up and show it to Mr. Cohen. "I thought you were the best teacher. Who is Mr. Experience?" Mr. Cohen grins and then heads off to settle a fight between Jimmy and Bobby. Justin has put his fortune down on the desk in front of him. He stares at the blackboard. I pick it up. It says, "Soon you will be going on a new journey and beginning a new life." I put the fortune down. Suddenly, I don't feel very good. Suddenly, pieces of dry fortune cookie feel like they are choking me. I, Amber Brown, hope that the fortune cookie is wrong. She really doesn't want her best friend to move. I get that. And that leaves us for chapter 3 for next time. All right, kiddos. Miss you. See you later.